My first DMT experience. I read about DMT and ayahuasca maybe 10 years prior, and although at the time I was really anti-illegal drugs and I hadn't touched them for many years due to certain personal experiences, I really was anti-illegal drugs. But when I started to read about DMT and ayahuasca, I could see this was different to detrimental drugs such as heroin, cocaine, this kind of stuff. And I thought, yeah, one day I will smoke DMT and drink ayahuasca. And it was 10 years later, but it did happen. And I was watching some videos on YouTube talking about the subject, and I thought, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to do ayahuasca and DMT now. And when I decided I was ready to smoke DMT, like Alan Watts says, most people go from cradle to grave, never even having heard of this stuff. And yet, when I decided I was ready to smoke DMT, I accidentally ended up on holiday with a stranger. We met at the airport, and he made DMT. So I smoked it with him, and I wasn't expecting a spiritual experience with DMT or anything really deep and meaningful. From what I could understand, the more deep and meaningful stuff came with ayahuasca than DMT. So I did maybe, I tried to smoke 30 micrograms. My friend did it by eye, it wasn't weighed, so I'm not completely sure, but maybe about 30 micrograms. And I tried to smoke it, and I coughed it up straight away. I don't smoke cigarettes, I don't smoke weed. If somebody walks past me in the street smoking a cigarette, my voice can go. My throat is really sensitive to smoke. I used to have laryngitis constantly when I was younger, just from smoking 2 cigarettes a day. So I can't tolerate smoke in any way, shape or form. And I just coughed it up. There was no more left. It was gone, it was wasted, and I was relieved. I was really relieved because I was scared. But anyway, second time I smoked it, I exhaled my lungs completely, inhaled the whole lot in one toke, and inhaled it as deeply as I could and just held it there. And the whole time I wanted to cough it up because it is like burnt plastic, it's disgusting. But I held it in, and I don't even remember exhaling. There was just a psychedelic portal in the room, and boom, I was sucked in really fast, lost complete awareness of my body. My whole vision was the psychedelic geometric shapes, really colourful, and instantly there was no time to look around at what I was looking at, because straight away there was information being given to me, and I was trying to absorb this information. And I think it was coming from a pyramid and an eye, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 99% sure. It didn't look like a pyramid from Egypt. I really can't tell you what I was looking at, even though I was looking at it for 10 minutes. If you were to stop the trip straight away and get me to draw this pyramid, I really would not be able to. Like in this reality, we could say this is blue, this is red, this is triangle, this is square. What I was seeing, I can't really understand it. It was kind of like it had extra dimensions and it was pulsating. So I can't really describe it properly, but there was information coming to me from the eye, and there was some kind of pointing going on between the eye on this pyramid and my eye, my third eye, the pineal gland, which is where it's thought that we produce DMT. And it was like higher intelligence was telepathically communicating with me, clear as day, pointing at the eye in the pyramid, and there was a pointing going on with my eye, and telepathically I was being told why things in my life were happening, whilst still images from my life were coming at me from this pyramid at really high speed, and I was being told this is why these things in your life are happening. This is why. Boom. When the point came to me, then I had the knowledge and the information and the shock I will never ever forget the shock. Really, really shocking stuff. And as soon as the knowledge was there and the shock was there, the memory was gone. Just completely gone. And then there were more images coming at me from my life. Still images. This is why these things in your life were happening. Those were the only words. This is why, and you know. So I think we kind of, subconsciously, we kind of know everything. I lean towards being a pantheist, that God is living through all living consciousness. And so this is why innately, deep down, we know all this stuff. And yeah, so these still images, this is why this stuff in your life is happening. Boom. Shock. Knowledge there. Gone. More coming at me. And this was going on for the whole duration of the trip, around 5-10 minutes. As I started to come out of the trip, I was kind of stuck between this reality and that reality. And I could see the room again. And my whole body was vibrating really powerfully, and I was wriggling around and squirming. And I remembered before I smoked it, my friend said to me, "Don't fight it." I didn't know what he meant by that. But when I was in that position, then I remembered what he said. He said, "Don't fight it." And then I knew I was wriggling around. I was trying to fight it because I didn't want to go back there. I didn't want to go back there, not because it was scary, but because it was so goddamn powerful. I just didn't want to go back there. But so I remembered my friend saying, "Don't fight it," and I exhaled and just relaxed. And I was ready for what was coming next, but nothing happened. That was the end. And yeah, so I don't remember the details of why things in my life were happening. But I do remember when I was shown these things, I didn't need to be told any more information than "this is why, you know why." Just that, those words with the images, I could link up everything. And it made perfect sense. And now I kind of feel like I can see things happening now. I can see why they're happening, and I'm very fatalistic that everything's happening for a reason, and just be chilled about it because there's a divine reason behind everything. So yeah, that was my first DMT experience, and I was never the same again, and I mean that in a good way. So do highly recommend DMT.